In this video, we're going to be going over the breaking news in the uranium sector. I am very, very excited because this is potentially the catalyst we needed to get us to $200. And if you know, and if you've been following me on this uranium journey, we have been calling $200 for a while. In the last 2 years since the bottom, this news could literally get us there next year. We are in an energy crisis and a supply crisis, and this might just push us over the top. You're going to want to watch the whole video, and we're going to jump right into it. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button below, and I'm going to get that documentary out this week for the third uranium documentary. This news is huge. So what I'm calling this is SPUTNIK. So Kazatomprom, the world's largest uranium producer, announced this weekend that they are going to be investing in physical uranium, just like SPUT, Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. So this is going to be its own fund, and it's starting off with a $50 million investment round, and it's going to possibly get up to $500 million. This is huge because this could only be the beginning. Just like SPUT initially had a $300 million prospectus, this could go up even higher, maybe billions of dollars. This is a very big company. It's the biggest uranium producer in the world. And with them doing the exact same thing that SPUT is doing, it really is very bullish because a lot of people were worried that Kazatomprom would jump back into the markets in uranium in the future and really lowball the market, you know, with these really cheap contracts. But what it's looking like is Kazatomprom is wanting to push the price up as well. And with this actual fund, they could actually do this in the spot market. So this fund, a lot of people there's so many questions right now, but the fund, they say, will hold physical uranium as a long-term investment. So what it looks like is they're not looking to be buying and selling the uranium on a weekly or monthly basis, because if this is a trust, there are laws that they have to follow, especially if they're publicly traded. So what will happen likely is it's a lot like SPUT, Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, where the fund is actually there to hold the asset, and they will be making, you know, a profit as the price goes up, but also every time that they raise and do, you know, similar to what SPUT does, every time they raise, they get a percentage, is what it's looking like. But this is very, very, very bullish. Like I said, this is the biggest uranium producer in the world. If you don't know who Kazatomprom is, you know, I've talked about them some of the previous videos. I don't myself invest in them, but the fact that this company, the biggest one in the uranium sector, is now starting to move in the spot market like this via a fund, it's very bullish to me. This really could push us to $200 in the next couple years, if not next year. This could really be scaring utility companies because remember, uranium takes multiple years to make the U3O8 fuel, and we're in a supply deficit. We are currently in an energy crisis. If you've seen my previous videos. So right now, the stock market right now is down a little bit, the futures, because a lot of people are a little worried what's going on obviously in China. Global bonds, stocks falls, inflation fears mount. Right now we've had prices in oil go up like crazy, okay? We had, I think since 2014, crude oil just hit its high. If you've seen all the other energy prices, you know, skyrocketed. Coal, we've got gas here, gone up almost 400+%. It's actually hit this year. And you got little old uranium down up 53%. That's it. We still need to get those prices $65, $75 plus just to break even for the biggest uranium companies out there. So there is a supply deficit happening. There's a shipping crisis going on, and with inflation, these prices should just automatically go up, because if you notice, the gas prices, they go up like that. Food prices, they're going up like that. Wages, everything's going up. You're going to start to see this in the uranium market. And remember, uranium stocks are leveraged plays on the underlying commodity, which is uranium. So this news, I tweeted earlier, I'm calling it, like I said, I'm calling this Sputnik, SPUT 2.0. This is the 18th of October. And I think by next year, I'm actually thinking we could actually see $200 uranium. If we start to get this massive volume via SPUT coming back when they do this New York Stock Exchange listing, and even if they don't do that, if they continue and people are able to buy on the OTC again under the ticker symbol SRUUF, then I think that you're going to start to see this push again in the uranium price. And we've seen long-term prices go up very quickly, and that's really what this was for, was to really get that price moving, make the opaque market in uranium somewhat less opaque, even though it really still is, because these long-term contracts are done years out, and they're also, a lot of times you don't get to see what the price is. But like I said, commodities just going up like crazy. Uranium is going to be one of the best investments, I think, in the next year or two. It's already gone up. The uranium stocks, if you follow, uranium stocks have gone up massively in the past year and a half since we started covering them. You see the charts, almost every chart is somewhat the same. They've just had this parabolic move. And, there's going to be crazy volatility. And I'll touch on the stock that I think is probably going to be one of the first ones to really do this crazy moves because of the volume that we've had. And I'll talk about it. It's Denison Mines. Now, Denison, I started investing in around 20 something cents. It was $1.67 the other day. Closed on Friday, $1.65. And this stock is probably one that I think we're going to see the best type of moves, especially because we're going to get the same amount of volume. If you see here, it was around 200 million. It actually led the market during that time, February. You can buy this with most brokers, and that's one reason I think it's going to be a very good swing. I think if we break out of about around $1.81, we're probably going to see $2 very quickly. I really like the chart here. I love the volatility, especially if you're looking to swing. I've since I bought it way back here, back March, April of 2020, I've swung this a bunch because, I didn't like some of the things that management was doing at certain times. They have raised a lot of money. They did buy physical uranium, which was a smart move. And the amount that they bought has actually gone up a tremendous amount. They're up, I think, 3-4 years worth of revenue in the amount of profit they've already made off that. It was around $75 million worth at the time. And this move was very smart on management. They saw it coming. But they also got the JCU deal, which was 50% of the JCU deal that they got. UEX also, they also got half the deal. And during that time, the stock has been very volatile. It went under $1 again. So, this stock, this is going to be one because it's trading, it's actually trading on the big boards in the US markets. A lot of people are going to be buying this. They're going to be buying it with their Webull, their Robinhood, brokers like that. They can still buy this. It's a little, stocks in the OTC and uranium, they're a little bit harder to buy. Like Sprott Physical Uranium Trust trades on the OTC. We saw that crazy volume and then they stopped it because they're still waiting on the KID for that. Once that happens, we're going to get a lot more volume coming back to that once it's approved. They said maybe mid-November. But, a stock like this, a stock like, Denison, I think it's probably one of the best bets for new investors that are really looking to possibly get in the uranium stock that's pretty solid. Remember, this is not investment advice. This is just something I'm thinking about swinging Denison again, especially if the markets are overall the stock markets gives us a, great dip again, but probably not. I think a lot of uranium stocks are just going to continue to be very strong. The charts are looking really good. We break that 181, right there. I think we're going to break out to $2+ in the, DNN ticker symbol, Denison. And I'm very excited to see, where this goes. Uranium stocks, very, very volatile. That's why I'm even talking about the swing in this, especially at this price. We're in a crazy times in the market. We've seen stocks do thousands of % gains in a day. Stocks really, on the verge of bankruptcy, still run like that. Uranium stocks, they're going to have a massive push when all this money and volume starts to come in. And I think that even if you're not a long-term investor and you don't even care about the, uranium bull market, the thesis, I think it's still a great stock that even if I wasn't invested in the long term, definitely would want to get in on the volatility and the amount of swing trading that you could do in this as well. But if you look, one last look, you look at all the uranium stocks here. I'm going to cover a bunch more in future videos. There are so many that have ran like crazy, and one of them is Bannerman. So Bannerman Resources, this is on the OTC, and this stock I actually bought it a couple cents, and I had sold out last year. I thought that the stock was overvalued because its market cap was way more than it was during the previous uranium bull market. And that's just what this market's telling us, that it really doesn't matter about the past. It really matters about the future. So the future, what are we going to have, less demand coming in? No. In the uranium market, it's going to be more demand. A lot of people were worried that, alternative energy sources would, push nuclear out. But if you see all the news that's been going on in the, Europe and the energy crisis overseas, China, India, they're running out of coal. Record coal prices. Nuclear power is looking a lot better because it's clean baseload power. And the future SMRs are very safe, and they're going to really help play a part in our climate goals in the future that everyone's talking about, that everyone does care about for the most part. So uranium is going to be a massive investment for the next 5 years, and I think they're going to be a multitude of millionaires made out of this that got in and that can hold in the long term through the volatility, because we see 50% drops in the uranium market. That's normal. Like 50% drops in a month's period is very normal. And if you study the old uranium charts, you can see that. But uranium is going to be the massive runner, I think, in 2022, 2023, as the energy crisis, inflation comes, the energy crisis continues, and the shortage that's happening. There's going to be less spot uranium. Utility companies are going to come in, I think, and do really high long-term prices. And there's going to be a lot of buying also, I think, out of China. China is going to want to secure a lot for their future reactors as well. So if you guys are excited for the uranium documentary, hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already below. And let me know, do you think this is going to be the catalyst?